Greetings. West Indian paradigm, political colonization, the continuation of empire. Jamaica, Jamaica Independence Act, July 1962. When a colony becomes a nation, the form of power changes, but the structure of control often remains. The politicians inheriting the colonial framework has become administrators of the same system that once oppressed their own people. Number one, inherited authority. The colonial constitution is often retained or lightly amended, preserving centralized power. Bureaucratic systems, property laws, and economic hierarchies remain modeled on imperial design. The new leaders govern through statutory instrument, not through ancestral or treaty-based sovereignty. Number two, political colonization defined. It is internalized colonialism, the domination of the people by their own want-to-be elites under the guise of independence. The politicians become the new colonial governor, enforcing foreign-derived laws or foreign-derived legal standards upon the West Indian Islanders' soil. The people are told they are free, yet their freedom is regulated by inherited statutes. Number three, the sovereign response. True sovereignty demands constitutional reform, not cosmetic independence. It calls for restoration of indigenous and natural law, or restoration of Indian great law of peace, or natural law, where authority flows from the people, not from the state. Sovereignty is not a political office. It is a spiritual and lawful condition rooted in ancestral legitimacy. Ceremonial reflection. Thus, political colonization is the empire reborn in national colors. The oppressors change his face, but not their nature. Freedom must be reclaimed not through elections. Again, freedom must be reclaimed through elections, but through jurisdictional awakening. The people remembering who they are before statute. Again, when we say jurisdictional awakening, we are talking about the pre-colonial state of condition, the pre-colonial jurisdiction. And this is the people remembering who they are before colonial statutes, before invading empires, before these unlearned politicians' politics. Yeah, man. So again, we said the continuation of empire show that the colonial oppression where foreign rulers and imposed identity and fictional identity And the national transition is when them get independence declared, but constitutionally bound to empire. This is why we emphasize the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom that has been adopted by all of these corporate constitutions, bylaws. And that's where we work. We not mess with all the rest of nonsense where not apply to it. So these are specificity. Yeah, man. Political colonization are when the very native born islanders are behave like them are elite. You know what I mean? Where them inherit the same centralized power, and this is where you see a permeate we area. So again, we look at the West Indian Proclamation, the continuation of empire, where we say, seen beings of the earth, or hear the record of our journey. From colonial oppression, where foreign rulers imposed legal identity and denied fundamental rights and freedom, to national transition, where Jamaica declare independence, yet constitutions carry the very same colonial empire's shadow, to political colonization, where we are experienced now, where these native elites inherited the same chains ruling as new oppressors. The empire did not die. It changes its appearance. It changes its face. The chains did not break. They were painted in national colors. The people were told they were free, yet freedom remained bound by statute. But sovereignty is not granted by politicians. Sovereignty is not written in colonial constitutions. Sovereignty is eternal. It flows from the people, from treaty, and from natural law. Therefore, let this manuscript declare, freedom restored, peace defended, sovereignty declared. Proclaim their own law and ancestral law. The empire continues until the people awaken their ancestral identity, West Indian heritage. The chains, the colonial chains, these new political chains will remain until the people choose to rise up. Sovereignty is unfinished. Chains of empire, chains of state, path to sovereignty. Only this area are presented this way. Now, what's the freedom from the British, Jamaica, 1962 Declaration of Independence, the lawful foundation. The Jamaica Independence Act 1962, passed by the Parliament of the United Kingdom, formally ended British legislative authority over Jamaica and established the island as a sovereign state within the Commonwealth. It declared that Jamaica would have full responsibility for its own government, laws, and citizenship, which is a transfer of sovereignty from colonial rule to national self-determination. Sovereign expression. In ceremonial cadence, your lawful declaration may read, by the Jamaican Independence Act 1962, sovereignty was restored to the people of Jamaica, not as a gift of empire, but as the reawakening of inherent rights and dignity. We, the living heirs of ancestral freedom, affirm that sovereignty is not delegated, but divine, not granted, but born. Our freedom is lawful, identity, unalienable, our covenant, eternal. interpretive meaning. Lawful sovereignty. The act recognized Jamaica's right to self-governance under its own constitution, inalienable freedom. The people's rights are not derived from statute but affirmed by natural law and ancestral covenant, continuity of lineage. Our ceremonial expression ties the 1962 Legal Act to the deeper indigenous West Indian Negroid Caribbean of sovereignty, freedom restored, peace defended, sovereignty declared. And when they are looking at the act in a section 1, it will explicitly state that Her Majesty's government in the United Kingdom shall have no responsibility for the government of Jamaica, and that no future UK law shall extend to Jamaica as a part of the laws thereof. Now, the key provision of the Jamaica Independence Act of July 1962 is this, Section 1, provision for fully responsibility status. The legal effect is this. From August 6, 1962, British relinquished all governmental authority over Jamaica. No UK Act after that date applies to Jamaica, meaning for sovereignty. Establishes Jamaica as a fully sovereign state within the Commonwealth. Section 2, consequential modification of Nationality Act. This is when them impose their corporate citizenry on you. The legal effect adjusts the British Nationality Act 1948 and 1958 to recognize Jamaican citizenship. To recognize Jamaican citizenship. One more time. To recognize Jamaican citizenship. Persons born in Jamaica become citizens of Jamaica and cease to be citizens of the United Kingdom and colonies, meaning for sovereignty. This confirms legal citizenship transfer from colonial status to national status. So you're no longer colonized by foreign colonizers. You're now nationalized by your own political entities out there. However, these entities are still governed and controlled by colonizing oppressor, their masters. Now, what we're not touched on is the 1981 amendment of the British Nationality Act, where it reversed all of these restrictions on West Indians. Them thing I stay silent. Later, I'm going to bring up that information and structure a narrative around the expression we'll just share. We have to think, people. We can't allow people to just throw things down our throat. We have to apply ourselves, literally. Yeah, man. Now, number 3, consequential modification of other enactment, legal effect. Updates British laws to reflect Jamaica's independence, meaning for sovereignty. This removes colonial references and recognizes Jamaica's autonomous legislative power. Now, listen carefully, people. Because Jamaica Parliament have autonomous legislative power, them can make the rules and regulation accordingly. However, if it not conform to the fundamental rights and freedom, this is when it go back to the Privy Council and then reverse it, and all the wrongs have to start over. In other words, they use it as technicality for release people where local domestic government railroad. Because there's always a proper way of conducting or doing things out there. There's a lawful course of action. Here on the island, because our judiciary area are some unlearned people educated by the University of the West Indies and the so-called Bar Association, which is a colonial oppressive organization, then I personally fire burn them and so them learnt brawling, and one of them can step up and say, sovereign man, you're wrong. So I just present documentary information to say, uno out of order. Uno, I work on behalf of the colonizer. Uno have absolutely no interest to the common local people's state of condition. No interest at all. Only for profit and gain. Now, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm lying, because the proof is out there. People are experienced all over me, I said, literally. Yeah, man. So if we're gonna present information for bring clarity, what will happen? Just what you see out there. Yeah, man. Mockery, mimicry, and just, yeah, chaos. However, them say it's organized. Why? Because of the distraction. People now have truth, and they know where to find truth. They don't know how to ascertain truth, and they don't know how to express. That's why I am he. That's why we are here. And we present our own information unapologetically. And it's there out there in the public for whoever chose to refute or rebut. We're not hiding and we're not afraid. We're totally and completely receptive to learning. However, you better bring information where we can appreciate and we can learn from. Don't bring the bullshit colonization nonsense narrative. When I want it, we'll firebomb it. Yeah, man. So again, we saw the consequential modification of other acts where the legal effect is the update British laws to reflect Jamaica's independence, meaning we're free and sovereign. The sovereign meaning it removes colonial references and recognizes Jamaica autonomous legislative power. Remember, in the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, irrespective of what legislative power the unlearned Jamaican Parliament have, there is a law there where says Parliament shall make no laws and no organ of the state to include but not limited the unlearned, untidy, and unholiness office cannot pass no action or take no action that will abrogate, abridge, or infringe upon the inherent fundamental rights and freedom of the people of this West Indian area, known as Zamayaka, called by enslaved Jamaica, called by the enslaved Jamaica. Who out there? Anybody hear me? Silent. Again, quiet on yourself. Yeah, look, all chat. Why? A sovereign man of the mic, sovereign man of the con. Yeah, man, away of the comes. Now we are look at the fees, the first schedule in the constitution. It's a legislative power of Jamaica, legal effect. Define the scope of Jamaica's parliament to make laws. Now, as sovereign man, them joke you know have no territory, but them kind of, just laugh at me because them I say, sovereign man, you're right. But you now have no standing army. We have the Jamaica military and we have the Jamaica Dunce police. And them Dunce police, all we have to do is say, yeah, him is a person of interest, get him. Unlike some unlearned rabies dogs, these unlearned policy enforcers, commercial vendors, then pursue the ones them out there and totally decimate them and then get a pat on the head from them colonizing political oppressors. And that are going out there. But remember me a comedian. So when me express it, I'm not supposed to laugh and roll. But boy, I stay on a silent, on a serious like a judge. Yeah, man, my comedian career in a problem with this kind of audience. However, so I stay resolute in my pursuit of truth, unapologetically. Pay attention. Pay attention. Just spend some time in a dislocation. Yeah, man, and you're going to get a paradigm shift. Literally. You get a paradigm shift. Because you're going to have to think autonomously. Yeah, man. We're going to rearrange your neurons. We're going to rearrange your DNA. We are rewire you. Yeah, man. Naturally, however, it's a free will exercise. We can't impose these things. That's why we present with information for honorable clarification and organic sovereign expression. That's it. That's it. Legislative power sovereign meaning it confirms the Jamaica law as supreme within its jurisdiction. So once you're there around here, foreign born have not chat. A member, me a sovereign man, so the parliament have to step back. Yeah, man. Literally. Why? Again, parliament can't make no law will violate or, abridge, abrogate, or even infringe. Law out there. This is what makes us sovereign. Yeah, man, the accurate knowledge, what we ascertain. Yeah, man, and the precise application, what we choose to implement. Yeah, in our presentation or whatever form of expression. Yeah, man. Now, text excerpt from section 1. As from the 6th day of August 1962, in this act referred. I think it messed up when me I download it, show me to work from this area. As the appointed day, Her Majesty's government in the United Kingdom shall have no responsibility for the government of Jamaica, no act of Parliament of the United Kingdom. Remember, I'm going to read all of this. Now, this is what me I try to express. This is the clause, which is the legal cornerstone of validate or claim of sovereign freedom. It terminates British legislative reach and affirms Jamaica's independent authority. It affirms that Jamaica independent in its authority. But you have to comprehend what Jamaica is, and you have to comprehend who really have the authority. It's not these unlearned, dunce politicians on a delegate. I did not. That's why I can talk like this and Andrew Holiness ignore me. Andrew Holiness anti the criminal government, ignore me. Andrew Holiness anti the low IQ dunce police, them ignore me. And that is appropriate. It's called strategic avoidance. Why? God, a joke of them know them not have no jurisdiction over me. I am he. I represent what it is to be free in this era, in this time. So are you ones and ones who choose to express yourself as sovereign. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, mainlanders. You can do the same, but I don't know. I don't have no antidote for timidity. Forgive me. Should I repeat that? I, as Nestorian king, have no antidote for your timidity. Clarity. I hope that's crystal clear. In other words, you have to choose. It's a free expression. You have to choose to be free. There is no way go and bring freedom on a platter to you out there. when you are their host, while they are the parasite. Get it clear. Yeah, man. Get it clear, man. So again, the ceremonial interpretation of Seboy from the appointed day, the lawful restoration of sovereignty, we reclaim. We, the people, reclaim. The West Indians reclaim. Not the Jamaican citizen or the political system enslaved. There is a distinction. And that's what I try to present out here. Now we say from colonized status to national status. One, colonial status. Under colonial rule, individuals are not recognized as sovereigns, but as subject citizens of an empire, specifically of the colonial foreign British Eurasian Empire. Their identity is defined by external authority, like the administrative society, the crown, administration, or imposed statute. Again, the identity is defined by external authority, the crown, the colonial administration, or imposed, forced statutes. Rights are limited, often subordinate to the interest of the colonizer. In law, colonial status means dependency. No independent nationality, only derivative allegiance. Number two, national status. This is what I'm carrying out. When a colony transitions into a nation, individuals are reclassified as citizens of a sovereign state. Citizenship is no longer granted by imperial decree, but by the constitution of the law of the new state. This transfer is a political act. Nationality replaces subjecthood, and sovereignty is declared. Rights expanded to include political participation, constitutional protection, and treaty capacity. Now, I'll place some emphasis here because I, as man, is outside their political purview, arena, venue, or jurisdiction. I choose not to participate in that nonsense. So the political participation is a trap. That's what I'm telling you. So them give voters registration. Them register you as an entity taking interest from you to participate in a damn political slavery. But you won't get this clarity. How can you? Even when me express it this way, it fly over people's head. But me have to plant the seed. It's not necessarily for you people who are present, or for the ones that were forward after you. Because most of them cannot change, cannot be saved, cannot be helped. On a spoil already by our own free will choice. And on choose that. So we can't do nothing about that. We have to lay the seed for the ones that will come express where we are live right now. Literally. Number three was the legal transfer. The shift from colonial to national status usually one, independence declaration, like Jamaica 1962 or India 1947, two, constitutional enactments that define who is a citizen of a new nation, just like how the constitutional order of 1962, which came down from the British colonizer to the so-called want-to-be Jamaican elite, or foreign to this location, because native mean born here, but born in a mean point of origin. You get it? This is why I say a lot of these politicians will look like us. Trace them ancestry. Them will come out of orphanage people. Them not have no origin. We don't know that. Enough of them, when I know them, when I know them I come from. A lot of them. Just check for yourself. Really. Because you know me a comedian, you know. Me just talk some things out here, but true me have, special privileges and special rights. As a comedian, me can talk all kind of things, but you can't convict me or even burn me or sue me for nothing at all. And this is just in the capacity as a comedian. Now, as a sovereign pussy, you can't touch me. Again, let me repeat that. As a sovereign pussy out there, you can't touch me without absolute consequence of decimation, total annihilation. Why? I'm a West Indian sovereign boy. I am the law. And it's documented. Jamaica know it. But them hide me. Them keep me secret. And promote the unlearned maroon community. That United Nation creation. Fire burn in all your variation. I said it. Nestorian King. I am he. So are you, my people. So are you. Now, the international recognition are when the treaties and the UN members that affirm the new nationality. Legally, this is a mass citizenship conversion. Colonial subjects are discharged from imperial jurisdiction and now enrolled into national citizenship. Fire burn. That's how them treat you aggregately. That's why a police can make a mistake and say a sovereign man and misconstrue him as a citizen unless the sovereign man express himself and declare his status as Ahuuakhan. And I'm associated with the Nestorian king, that wild man, that sovereign man. So anything we want to do to us, we not go wrong. When them express that to any police stand down. Police not give a chat. Because we don't go through all of that. You understand? However, you see, because I don't want everybody running from within. Police out there, all you have to do, from them not know me, beat the fuck out of them. You have my number, you have my information, you know me are the only sovereign man who stand up strong around here. You know my location in a greater Portmore, Sabina. Yeah, we want some big gate out on the front so we can say we have gated community. We really later we have to lobby for that. I talk it as comedy, but really, later we have to get we place gated car. I don't want the people them come in and thief car. And we have to go kind of restrict the rental areas. We don't want too much anybody are come rent months way, come live months and bomb buckler, contaminate and corrupt and pollute the community. Some want to come in here and say we're nice and proper and just be so poor, we want to just end up a broke out some way. Watch me now, man. We have to go get some order around my section and we don't have a problem. I implement these things because we not wait for an untidy politician. You mad? That's why I have to create a rascal empire where money on an object, I just talk on it, man, a boy and I give a chat, period. But step by step, pussy them know I'm coming in and the pussy them know them can't stop this truth. Yeah. And them like it through me so rough, through me so harsh, and through me narrative so savage. Them not like it, them want to come like a cross-dressing sodomite where them spoil. Like me, I look out on TV and see in Jamaica Parliament, them have this gay rascal guy with them, I don't know what kind of fuck with them I give to these people when the Constitution said, just like on go one side, with the go on with up there. This is why I say, we are talking about bonfire, clown. Una a clown. A time going come when all a man like I and some real Awakan warrior step across one location we talk about una bonfire and we're going up phone location, make you know what fire is. We're going to raise on a village with truth. With truth. Yeah, man. Why a warrior said him share some of my information in there down in the Mobile region, you know. But the Mobile warrior them about me spiritually, you know. But the man said when them sitting and some little ones are listening, the man them must say, oh, we don't know about that man here. I went there. That's my hygiene, my warrior, my brethren. I say, yeah, my hygiene. I say, I hide them money, man. And can't make them money cut loose out there. Your money want Jamaica, you know. Watch me now. There's an ancient prophecy where the ones them suppressing about Ongo the Congo Bongo, some ancient Congo Bongo know these prophecy. Where them say every now and again wanna we rise in such a way where we rearrange the earth. When we rise and do some things in the earth, the them can't get, you know. Earthquake really happen. And I'm an experience these things when I do some things and earthquake and manifest while me there in a county record, I change them location there. Them thing are there in our folklore, but them buried when them start tell you about your Africa. Now you're gonna know nothing when you talk about your, you know, when them are, you know, misclassify you, you're not gonna know nothing. You're not gonna have no affinity for your origin, for your own location. You gotta always think about some foreign land where on a years, you know, really belong. But again, that's what I'm called colonization. It brings confusion. Really. It brings confusion. Before I go, I wrap up that area and then chop it off. Application in sovereign law. For indigenous and West Indian people, the transfer is contested. Colonial citizenship was often imposed, not chosen. It's forced upon you. National status may still carry traces of colonial authority if the constitution is modeled in imperial law. Thus, sovereign advocate argues true national status requires restoration of treaty rights and natural law identity, not just statutory citizenry. Or ceremonial conclusion is this: the movement from colonial status to national status is merely bureaucratic. It is a jurisdictional rebirth. One, colonial status, captivity under the empire. Two, national status, recognition under constitution. Sovereign status, eternal identity under natural law beyond both colonial empire and or political statutes. So the legal transfer applies as a conversion of identity in law, but the soul of sovereignty remains untouched. It is not granted by colonial empire, nor revoked by political statutes. And I rest my case at present. Yeah, man. Again, we say complete gratitude for the time, complete gratitude for the moment. Again, an opportunity to share our information, bringing honorable clarification of our sovereign situation. Yeah, man. Precise expression. So, we have to look upon the Jamaica Independence Act in a different light. We have to look upon the political system that has been imposed upon you unlearned people in a different light. We have to choose You know, at least look at the alternative set of information so one can choose to rearrange on a perspective. About time we stop allow people to throw things down, we throw things down, we throw it, or tell us that this is what it is. We don't want to read anything for it. Present the information so we can scrutinize it for ourselves. Our brain work exceptionally well. People, don't let them fool you and talk about dance. Them think they're nonsense. You understand? I'm living proof for that. Because me never passed no primary school exam. I'm going to take it 2 times. I couldn't pass. I could even go in a high school. I just get lucky for getting at Tivoli. When it was a comprehensive high. Wasn't even a full high school. Sorry, Tivoli. Sorry for me because them me that enter. Yeah, man. So it's one or the other. So me and a scholar. Me and a bright boy. Me at the back of the class me I come from. Dunce. Me that boldly and proudly say dunce. That's why I'm calling a dunce because there's no excuse. It took me years, yes, because me did have to go back to learn. Me did have to go back to the 5th grade. As a big old man, I come home from foreign and there. I go up on the little BlackBerry phone them and them things there. Them things that I used to use. You understand? I mean, have an old Dell computer. From foreign, me carried on an old IBM back in my time, and that was the #1 Bose computer when we use fingerprint on it. But over the years, it just come so obsolete. Me have to dash it where I start. And can't buy a new one. Me have to work with an old Dell when I sit throw down. Some work, maybe have some computer when I touch it, it does fragment it or it crystallized or it old. And that never stopped me from applying myself and learn. When me on the internet and thing, them time they could have cipher for people internet. Some used to work with my BlackBerry as I go out there and get anything free, me just do some little research. Till when me used to look on words, I can't see the words and no more, my eye them start get away. When I clean up my eye, I when my sun gaze, I forgot to start sun gaze again. Recalibrate my neurons naturally. You have to apply yourself. You have to go back and learn the parts of speech. When I really get solid is when I take on the correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar from David Wynne Miller. That was a beautiful experience. When I discovered the 7 liberal arts and sciences with the trivium and the quadrivium method of learning, boy, I was world people. Years it take, because you have pick, and nobody have teach you these things, so you have to learn. So when it take a man 1 year for learn, it take you about 10 years. And you apply yourself, you know what I mean, at the purpose, at the goal. Something in you just have said, this is where it is. So you know, just listen to people outside. You validate to find truth. You validate. If me there talk to you, you have to know who me is. Now make me come talk to you, and me is a big sissy, me is a big pussy, but me talk tough, but me is a little crack smoking zombie. You don't do that. Pass through my community and run an investigation and ask some neighbor, ask the ones them wanna like me, about me. Don't ask the ones them will like me. And then we tell you truthfully, say we not like him enough, but him think different, him standard everything about him different, and them say, and then you ask, so why you not like him? And then them get quiet. Literally. Because there's no reason. Probably the inaccessibility might make them like me. Because even when me, courteous and ill and say hi to everybody, and not everybody can access me. And the ones that we can still know that there is still limits to that access. So, and like when they say, boy, we are all of these things. No, we are come from the back of the class and we choose to apply ourselves and we're a work in progress. We're still a learn, because learning will never cease. Yeah, man, we just not allow jokers out there to impose for them nonsense on way. We not allow that. We not accept it. Yeah, man. Anyway, I know my time kind of stay away, so complete gratitude for the time, for the moment. More than me, the most I guide and protect the item. In all the item endeavors. Yeah, man. I'm blessed perpetually. Yeah, man. Continually. Salute free people. I walk in the nation in America. Stay bold and brave. Stay firm and strong. And most importantly, stay wild and free. Yeah, man. Perpetually. Perpetually. Complete gratitude.